We are surrounded by woven fabric every single day. But have you ever stopped to think about the engineering miracle that makes it all possible? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the absolutely incredible mechanics of the loom.
How does it really happen? We're not just talking about it's made in a factory. How do a bunch of individual threads become, well, this? The strong, flexible, patterned cloth that is literally everywhere you look.
Because it's not just some clunky machine, it's more like a high speed mechanical ballet, an orchestra of moving parts, all timed perfectly, working with insane precision. And the engineering behind it all, it's just fascinating. So, how does this whole mechanical ballet actually work? Well, here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the three primary motions, the absolute heartbeat of any loom. Then we'll get into how patterns are made, how the thread gets in there so fast, the wild physics of that speed, and finally, the precision control systems that make sure it all comes out perfect.
All right, first up, the three primary motions. And what's so cool is that every loom, I don't care if it's an ancient hand loom or some modern super machine, is built on these three basic actions. If you get these, you basically get the core of how all weaving works. It really boils down to this simple three-beat rhythm. Step one is shedding. This is where the machine lifts up some of the long threads, those are called the warp, to create a little opening or a shed. Then comes step two, picking. That's when a new thread, the weft, gets shot through that opening. And finally, step three is the beat up. A part that looks kind of like a comb, called the reed, slams forward and packs that new thread tightly into the fabric. And this whole cycle, it happens hundreds of times a minute. It's crazy.
Okay, so that explains how you make a plain piece of cloth. But what about patterns? How do you get something intricate? Well, the magic is all in that first step, the shedding. The way the loom chooses which of those warp threads to lift, that's what determines the entire pattern. For the really simple stuff, you've got something called tappet shedding. Just think of it as the basic workhorse. It's strong, it's fast, it's super reliable. But if you want something a bit more complex, like the diagonal pattern you see in your denim jeans, for that, you need a Dobby mechanism. It gives you way more flexibility to pick and choose which threads go up and which stay down. But okay, what if you want true artistry? We're talking pictures, intricate floral designs, that kind of thing. For that, you need the granddaddy of them all, the jacquard mechanism. This is a total game changer. Instead of just lifting groups of threads, the jacquard system can control every single thread individually. And that right there unlocks the door to mind-blowingly complex and detailed patterns. And the genius of the jacquard, and this is so cool, is that it used punch cards. This was basically an early form of mechanical programming, a direct ancestor to modern computers. So you'd feed this chain of cards with holes in them into the machine. If a little needle hits a hole, it goes through, and that tells a hook to lift up its thread. If there's no hole, the needle is blocked and the thread stays down. It's a simple yes or no, a 1 or 0, a binary choice. And you repeat that across thousands of threads, and suddenly you can weave these absolutely breathtaking designs. All right, so that's how we create the opening. Now let's talk about the second primary motion, the picking. This is all about getting that weft thread across the loom. And let me tell you, modern engineering has turned this step into an all-out sprint. For like centuries, looms used a shuttle. It's this little boat-shaped thing that holds a spool of yarn, and it was literally thrown back and forth through the shed. It works, it's versatile, but it's a chunk of wood. It has mass, so there's a hard limit on how fast you can make it go. So modern looms, what they call unconventional looms, they just got rid of the shuttle completely for something way, way faster. So what do they use instead? Well, there are a few really clever methods. You've got rapier looms, which use these long, thin rods, kind of like swords, to carry the yarn across. They offer a great mix of speed and versatility. But if you want just pure, unadulterated speed, then jet looms are the king. They use a super precise blast of air or even water to just shoot the yarn across the loom. So how fast are we talking here? Well, a modern airjet or waterjet loom can do that whole three-step cycle, shedding, picking, and beat up more than 400 times a minute. Just think about that. That's over 6 threads inserted every single second. It's a blur. But all that incredible speed comes at a price. This is where we get into some serious physics, because every single part of that machine has to be engineered to handle just immense, constant, violent forces. And one of the key parts here is called the sleigh. This is the component that holds that comb-like reed, and it's what swings back and forth to do the bead up, to press that new thread into the cloth. Imagine a massive, heavy pendulum swinging back and forth at incredible speed, right at the heart of the loom.
And as our source material points out, that rapid acceleration and deceleration creates huge forces. The entire frame of the loom has to be built like a tank to absorb the shock of that heavy sleigh starting and stopping, over and over, hundreds of times a minute.
I mean, just think about it. Every single part, every bearing, every screw, every pin, it has to be designed to not just work, but to survive this relentless mechanical beating for millions and millions of cycles without failing. It is an absolute masterclass in durable engineering.
Okay, so you've got speed, you've got strength, but none of that matters if you don't have control. To actually make high-quality fabric, you need a whole bunch of other systems working in perfect harmony to manage the thousands of threads flying around. Let's take warp tension, for instance. All those long threads, the warp, have to be fed into the machine under perfectly constant tension. If it's too loose, the fabric you make is flimsy. Too tight, the threads just snap. So, how on earth do you manage that perfectly?
Well, one really elegant solution we found in a patent is for an advanced backrest mechanism. It's a clever system designed to do just one thing, precisely control the tension on those warp threads.
What it does is replace these big, bulky, old-school spring systems with something much smarter and more responsive. It lets the loom react instantly to even the tiniest changes in tension, and that ensures the fabric comes out perfect every time. See, it's this kind of nitty-gritty, detailed engineering that makes modern high-speed weaving even possible.
And here's another critical system, the stop motion. You've got maybe thousands of threads running through this machine. If a single one of them breaks, a sensor, it could be mechanical or electronic, detects it in a fraction of a second and slams the brakes on the whole machine. It stops everything before a flaw gets woven into the fabric. It's basically the loom's built-in automated quality control inspector.
So really, the next time you, put on a t-shirt or sit on your sofa, just take a second to think about the incredible mechanical symphony that brought it to life. From that simple, powerful rhythm of shedding, picking, and beat up, all the way to lightning-fast air jets and those hyper-precise control systems. Every single thread in that fabric is a testament to literally centuries of human ingenuity.
It kind of makes you look at the world a little differently, doesn't it? So next time you see any piece of fabric, look closer, because you're not just seeing threads. You're seeing a story of engineering, of precision, of genius. It makes you wonder, what other everyday things are hiding a whole world of incredible engineering?